Okay. Okay, we're on. So let's record. Yes, we are on. We
Okay.
are live. Hold on just a second. Boom, we got that done. And we got this done. And now we finna do this. Yes.
Greetings, this is Jim Farmer, Festival Director of Out on Film. Since 1987, Out on Film has been dedicated to supporting the exhibition of LGBT film and video art forms with top-rated films, intimate settings, audience participation, and special celebrity events, which gives moviegoers and sponsors a way to connect and extend a 90-minute film into a lasting relationship. For more information about film submission, the history of the festival, and how to donate or sponsor, please visit outonfilm.org. That's outonfilm.org.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
Are you an LGBT music artist looking for worldwide exposure? Well, look no further. Meak Productions does it again as it presents the official radio spinoff of the upcoming music workshop and concert series, the Various Artist Talent Showcase. Tune in twice a month as we give the latest hits from the newest music discoveries in the LGBT community. We support and believe in the independent artists. To have your music played on our radio show, visit our official Facebook group or visit our website at meakproductions.com. That's MEAK as in kite, productions with an S.com. The Various Artists Talent Showcase, where LGBT music artists take flight.
Greetings to our listening audience and welcome to the summer season finale of Meak Productions syndicated radio shows. Get ready for something old, something new, as we present a new episode of our #1 LGBT music radio show, the Various Artists Talent Showcase, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Tonight, I'm all yours if you want me. And yes, it's true, I'm really trying to take you home with me. And it don't matter what you do, it don't matter what you say. If you're wondering what my answer is, baby, it's gonna be yeah. I'm gonna give it to you, yeah. I know you wanna get it, yeah. Baby, it's up to you, yeah. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. I see you come, I see you making your way up to me. No need to worry, cause it's you I wanted it to be. And I can't tell by the way you're looking at my body that you like what you see. So come on, baby. Baby, I'm all yours tonight. I'm all yours if you want me. And yes, it's true, I'm really trying to take you home with me. And it don't matter what you do, it don't matter what you say. If you're wondering what my answer is, baby, it's gonna be yeah. I'm gonna give it to you, yeah. I know you wanna get it, yeah. Baby, it's up for you, yeah. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. I've seen you staring at me all night, hoping you get the chance. And I've been staring at you all night, watching you shake that ass. But don't wait forever, cause for long I'll be gone. So have the courage to come tell me that it's me you want. Baby, I'm all yours tonight. I'm all yours if you want me. And yes, it's true, I'm really trying to take you home with me. And it don't matter what you do, it don't matter what you say. If you're wondering what my answer is, baby, it's gonna be yeah. I'm gonna give it to you, yeah. I know you wanna get it, yeah. Baby, it's up for you, yeah. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. So baby, come and get it. Ooh. look so good tonight, yeah. I bet you feel even better. And if you think I look good tonight, yeah, wait until you feel me, baby. Ooh, you look so good tonight, yeah. I bet you feel even better. And if you think I look good tonight, yeah, wait until you feel me.
Now, you know, we had to start this off right. Greetings to our listening audience and to our viewing audience. Let me stop this off share and we are back. I had to do this, baby. I had to do this. Welcome to episode 2 of our 10th anniversary season of Meak Productions' #1 LGBT music radio show, The Various Artists Talent Showcase, where we play nothing but the very best in independent music by LGBT music artists worldwide. And this is a special episode, you all, because I've been excited to do this for the longest. And, of course, the pandemic put a lot of things behind schedule and stuff like that. And I know we're going to talk about this with our special guest as far as how it has impacted him and his music career. But we are actually on here to celebrate 10 years of the music recording career of our first gentleman of music for the music division of our talent agency. And we haven't had him on our show live interview since I think 2010, since 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. I know he was featured on our show when we first started Same Gender Loving Expressions in 2009 twice. And I think we featured him again in 2010. But we haven't had him to do an interview with us in a minute, but we've been constantly blasting his music. We've been constantly blasting his music. So it is with great honor and pleasure to welcome back to our LGBT music radio show for an interview, the first gentleman of music for Meak Productions, Tony Enos in the house.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. A, B, thank you for the surprise. That was dope. I haven't heard that song in so long, and it's so nice to hear it like fresh and new and something different.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do more with that particular arrangement. I just felt that it could always be more. So it was great to hear you do a remix of that. Was freaking awesome. Thank you. And thank you always.
I had to surprise you with that because I was like, you know what? We're going to start off with something classic first.
I know.
And then we're going to do something current and stuff because, of course, we're going to do something different since we're on Zoom and we're on live YouTube. I had to kind of work out the kinks of how I wanted to do this show for the first time on Zoom. And I did that with Ace Rain and stuff. So we was able to do just audio with her. But since you have an entire video collection, and for those people that's tuned into us right now, please, and if you're listening to us right now on audio, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button, and we are youtube.com/Meak Productions TV. That's MEAK as in kite, productions with an STV. For those people that listen to us on radio, please check out our MixCloud and SoundCloud accounts, which is at, of course, Meak Productions, MEAK as in kite, productions with an S. Our official media website is media.meakproductions.com. And, of course, the website is meakproductions.com. For the best in Tony Enos, of course, you can visit his website at tonyenosmusic.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, gotcha. Want to make sure because I know at first, long years ago, it was TonyEnos.com, and then of course you evolved it to Tony Enos Music, right?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Now a lot of people are gonna be asking questions about. Okay, wait a minute. What is he doing with the Christmas tree in the background and it's still hot as hell?
My Christmas tree with my gay merman. I don't even know if you can see. I got him in San Francisco. We started recording the Christmas record July 25th. And it comes out the day after Thanksgiving, which I think is, it's funny, I got two calendars sitting in front of me and I don't know. I don't have either one. The day after Thanksgiving, which is the 27th, if I'm not mistaken, because the 26th is Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's my first full-length Christmas record. So we needed something to get us in the spirit. And, so it's fun. It's fun to just, and I got the lights behind me to just, kind of shut the lights out and throw yourself into Christmas. So that's why it's gonna be up all 6 months now. 6 months of Christmas.
All right.
So yeah. So.
I'm glad you talked about that because I know a lot of people don't understand that when you do a Christmas or a holiday album, when you're in a studio or in a recording environment, it has to, the environment has to fit the season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In order to get into that mode, especially when you're doing it out of season. And then some people wait till the season and then release it next season.
Right.
So, but you know what? I'm glad that you're doing this because, you've been doing Christmas singles off and on throughout the 10-year span of your recording career. So I think it's about time for it to be a full-length Christmas album.
Well, thanks. I'm excited. It's called Mr. Christmas. It's about, I'd say 2/3 originals, including the title song, Mr. Christmas, and 2/3, so 1/3 originals, 2/3 classics. So we did a really cool like R&B version of Let It Snow, which I'm really excited for. And
okay,
so we're playing the videos and stuff like that now, and stressing about it because it's summer and ain't nothing Christmas looking but my bedroom yet. So, but I'm excited. So I think the 3 videos off the top are Mr. Christmas, White Christmas, which is a really pretty acoustic version, and then Let It Snow. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to kind of maybe breathe some new life, or at least put my taste on.
I know.
So, on some of the like Christmas classics that we know. So I'm excited.
You know what? This is going to be real awesome because I'm going to have you for as long as I can.
Okay.
So because you have, like I said, 10 years. And for those people that are on our YouTube channel, if you go to our playlist, right in when we celebrated 10 years of our talent agency in 2018, we did, when we also released the 10th anniversary of Meak Pro Music, we did a playlist compilation of the best of Tony Enos. All of your videos is actually in one playlist, from the new to the old. And speaking of that, we're going to start off with the new video first, come from your newest album, Positive. We're going to start with that first. And if I can get the share screen to work correctly this time. So far, it's been going pretty good. So I want to make sure that we do it right this time. But we're going to start by playing the video to Positive. And those of you that's listening to us on radio, you can hear the audio version, of course. So stay tuned, you all, for the video of his newest single from his newest album, Positive. So hope you all enjoy. Yes, this is awesome.
Even in the dark, even in the night, I always knew the sun would rise. So I just held tight to my dream. I believed all the way, I couldn't believe. Even in the now, when things get around, I always know the sun don't.
Sorry about that, y'all. Let's do it again. Sorry, my fault. I think I did something wrong. Uh-oh. We're gonna do it again.
Even in the dark, even in the night, I always knew the sun would rise. So I just held tight to my dream. I believed all the way, I couldn't believe. Even in the now, when things get around, I always know the sun don't come. And I'm a faith to move mountains. And yes, I'm absolutely positive. Even in the night, I always knew the sun would rise. So I just held tighter to my dreams. I believed harder when I couldn't believe. Even in the now, when things get rough, I always know the sun gon' come. And I'm a faith to move mountains. And yes, I'm absolutely. Even in the dark, even in the night, I always knew the sun would rise. So I just held tighter to my dreams. I believed harder when I couldn't believe. Even in the now, when things get rough, I always know the sun gon' come. And I'm a faith to move mountains. And yes, I'm absolutely positive. Yes, I'm absolutely positive.
Awesome, man.
Well,
Such
thank you.
Such an inspirational video. Apologies for the technical difficulties. You know, like I said, we're live and you know things happen. Okay, wait a minute. Is that me?
Hold
Hold on, wait a minute.
I
Hold
know
on.
just from the intro of it, what video that was coming up.
Hold on for a minute. Is that me?
Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast.
Okay, that's me. Okay,
That's your YouTube is still playing.
Okay, my YouTube was still playing. That's what that was. Oh, okay. Hold on.
You know what lines the video?
Okay. I can't wait a minute. Say, hold up. Wait a minute.
It gets some like planes on a runway.
Okay. I was wondering what the hell was going on. But anyway.
That's it.
Okay. But tell us a little bit about the inspiration, since this is your is this your 10th or 11th album?
Oh no, my fourth studio album.
Fourth studio album. I don't know. You know what? I keep matching your music with the years.
You know, from your mouth to God's ears. I'm looking forward to 11.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to I guess last year I had performed at the United States Conference on AIDS. I've been HIV positive since 2006. So 14 years. This July makes 14 years. So I opened the United States Conference on AIDS, first Indigenous performer to ever open the conference. And I say all that to say it was an amazing, affirming space. And I decided to keep myself closeted. Like, no one has known the past 14 years that I've had HIV. And it was so stupid. It was such a great space. They had things like massages for, people living with HIV specifically. Like, you could go, like, they just had all these great, this great support system set up. And then even interpersonally, I couldn't reach out and commune or be like, hey, me too, or hey, this too shall pass, or any of that, because here I was sitting on this secret and I just got tired of carrying it. And I believe secrets keep you sick. And so when it was all over, and I mean, it even gave me like extra anxiety on stage and things like that. And, nobody made me, I made that decision to stay in the closet. And I thought, I'll never do this again. I'll never closet myself when I'm in an affirming space like this and for people living with HIV. Like, it was just, I caused myself so much more anxiety than was necessary. So when we got to talking about it, the International Conference on AIDS that just passed July 1st, which is why we released the album on July 1st, asked me to perform back when it was going to be in person in San Francisco. Then it went virtual. And so I was, thank God, able to perform virtually. But I always knew that the universe would bring it to me when it's time. And I just thought, it's time. Like, I'm tired of carrying it. And I'm tired of it being a secret. And it's not serving anybody, like, least of all me. Like, it's not keeping me healthy carrying it. And it's not in service in any way to anybody else. Like, what's the point? It's not helping anybody, me sitting on it. And so that's what the inspiration for the album overall is. So it's a positive album. It's just, even the breakup songs or the hardship songs, they're about owning all of yourself and owning your truth and walking in your truth, letting the chips fall where they may, because your truth is more important. It's an uplifting, positive record. And HIV and that 14 years definitely has a place on this record, and trying to I guess honor it, give it the space that it deserves in my life. Because it's been a good teacher. It's been a great teacher, actually.
You know what? I'm glad that you sharing this, and like I said in previous interviews, that one of the reasons why we always ask people to talk about their coming out story, to talk about their struggles and stuff, because you never know who like you may be going through.
Right.
And many people may feel like they can't make it, but when they see you and see the fact that you've overcome and you've been successful and have used your struggles as a tool to build you up and to take you forward and stuff, this is very important, because a lot of people, not just outside of our LGBTQ plus community, but even within our community, a lot of us don't understand the stigma that is around people who are HIV positive, and even those who are actually are undetectable, and how that stigma is actually, still prevalent right now and stuff. So I'm grateful and thankful that you made the decision to be completely free, because I can imagine that even during the time when you was actually, it's one thing to come out of the closet as gay, as a a mixed race gay male, but to carry that and then to realize that you're HIV positive was just a whole nother barrier. So it's almost like you had to go, it's like you're out of the closet, but you had to go back into the closet again.
I won't fit in.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you thinking on 1 minute you are really free on one level, then come to find out here comes something else. So tell us a little bit about that process. I know we saw a little bit in the video, which was very powerful, by the way, but tell us a little bit about that process for you, and how was it when you was forced to hold things in and stuff like that? Tell us a little bit about that process, because I didn't even know. Go ahead.
Right. Well, the video was definitely a means to spotlight certain things or normalize. I wanted to normalize certain feelings, I think was the important point. Education was really paramount with this record and with this particular video, and then holding space for certain things. So I found out in 2006. Only my two best friends knew at the time. I didn't tell my parents, my family, and my sister until 8 years later, which I'm glad that I waited, because I was able to tell them with 8 years worth of knowledge versus my heart being broken in the beginning. Absolutely. So I was able to tell them and be like, they mirrored my demeanor, I guess. So like, hey, I'm cool, I'm undetectable. This is what that means. Everything is all right. I'm good. Versus me kind of coming to them with my heart in pieces in the beginning, because in the beginning I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. So that the shower scene really in the video, and you try and encapsulate it as best as you can inside 4 minutes. But for months at my house at the time, we had a floor to ceiling mirror outside of the shower. And every night when I got out of the shower, if I could have just got a bat and busted every mirror in the house, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. It was like this unclean creature staring back at me in the mirror. And that was all my shit, right? That was all my mental process and my internalized stigma and my internalized crap, toward HIV and people with HIV. But it was a long time before I could get out of the shower and not think about it. I couldn't stomach the sight of myself in the mirror. And I think at that hour was when I did the most battling with my demons at the time. And I didn't want to glamorize suicide or suicidal ideation with the video. But what I wanted to do was normalize the feeling, because you can't fix something until you admit that something is wrong, right? Or that something is unhealthy or doesn't feel healthy. And so I wanted to normalize the feeling for those who do feel that way, of like, yeah, this is really shitty. And this feels really shitty right now. It literally feels like the world, because life as you knew it, for me, I can only speak for myself. At that point, 14 years ago, life as I knew it did come to an end for me. And that's a shitty feeling, And so, but you want to be able to say, but this too shall pass, and stick it out, and everything is gonna. But I think as humans, we're empathetic and we're caring, hopefully. And yeah, right. And we know supposed the name. But when you see someone hurting, I think right away we want to snap people out of it, and we're like, feel better. What can I do to make you feel better? As opposed to sitting with people's emotions sometimes, no, this is really shitty. This is a shitty feeling right now. And you have every right to feel shitty about it. But this is going to pass. This is a temporary moment. So I didn't want to, again, glamorize suicide or suicidal ideation or say that it's good, but I did want to normalize the feeling so that people who do feel, I want people to know that they're not crazy, because you feel crazy because you get all these thoughts and feelings tumbling all over top of themselves, and you can't even set things out linearly and go, oh, because of this, I feel this way. Everything's just tumbling all over itself. So I wanted to normalize that for people who are newly diagnosed and newly positive and are going through that, but also to say, this too shall pass. Everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. It may not feel like it, but everything's going to be all right.
Wow, that's a powerful testimony, and you almost took us to church for a minute. Hey,
take my hat off.
Okay. But thank you so much for sharing, because once again, a lot of people don't understand the struggles under that type of stigma and everything and stuff. So, and like I said, it really took me for a loop, because I remember when you first came out to me, and all this time that we had been working together, or at least having some form of connection that I never knew. And but I'm grateful that you chose to come out when you did, because another thing I always say on our show is that coming out is a work in progress on multi levels, and everybody's coming out experience is not the same. And that's why it's always good to hear a variety of stories as it relates to this. I want to also give you some more props, because I had a chance to hear the entire album. And yes, I did. You know me. I had a chance to hear your entire album, of course, like I also did your previous album, No Place Like Home. But I have to say that, my favorite track so far is Losing Season.
Oh, wow.
He Was So Beautiful, Light in the Dark, and This Close to Freedom. I'm I was like, okay, because going all the way back to us working on your first debut album and collaborating with you on that, it's like it's a totally new, different sound, a totally new, different image. You have this little pop and little country.
New country that kids call it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like new country now, and it's like acoustic guitar now. I'm like, so kind of give us a little snippet about the evolution of Tony Enos from what we first saw. That's why I felt that it was important for us to go back in time a little bit and to also show who you are right now. So talk to us a little bit about that evolution and that process from where you were into where you are now musically.
Right. Well, I mean, I think when that first record, I was in my 21, 22 years old, and it was right around the time I got diagnosed. But I say that to say, I think when you come into the business at first, especially if you're young, you're taking a lot of advice. And there's a lot of guiding hands, and I think it can even be a struggle to find your own voice. And there's still, I think, a shut up and sing attitude. Don't deal with politics, don't get involved in that, make mindless pop music. And I turned 30. I'm 36 now. Thank God. Now, thank you.
Not gonna move it.
Not gonna move it. But when I turned 30, I really had an awakening, getting ready to do another record, and I was like, I just have more to offer as a 30-year-old man than to run around and just sing booty popping songs forever. And not that there's anything wrong with that, and they have their place, but that's not all of who I am. Coming into my Two-Spirit and indigenous identity had a lot to do with, I guess, my political sense of the world. And there is a lot of socio-political music on this particular record. And with this record, I realized how grateful I am to be an independent artist, because if I was with a record company, pretty much every song you mentioned, maybe all except Losing Season, would have got sent right back. It never would have seen the light of day, because it's the socio-political music that I've made over the past 4 or 5 years would have got sent right back. It never would have seen the light of day. If it was up to a record company. So I'm super thankful to be an independent musician and in charge of what I get, the narrative that I get to uplift and amplify and magnify. Definitely being HIV positive is one of those, being a multiracial man, being a brown man, being a gay brown man, an HIV, it's kind of, but all those things I think have made me who I, and then finally too, just stepping into the role of producer on this record, and producing the entire record. And I think I hope people can hear the growth, because that's all you could ever really hope for, is to keep growing and keep evolving. But I think this is growed up. I think it's a growed up record, like the Rugrats used to say. This is growed up. I hope. So I just hope people enjoy it, and I hope that it does bring comfort and I don't know. I just hope it's good medicine, as we say, in native ways we say, good medicine. It's good for your heart. It's good for your spirits. I just hope that the album can be good medicine for folks.
Awesome. Let's before we actually go into the next track, which will be another video, by the way.
Okay.
We're going back. We're going to do another classic.
All right.
Let's talk about, when did you start picking up the guitar?
I always have been enamored with the guitar. And I got my guitar that I had was given to me as a gift about 10 years ago. And I don't think I played seriously. Maybe the last 6-7 years I played seriously. But for 10 years, just kind of fiddling around, and excuse me. That was when I really got heavy-handed in producing. Once I started playing the guitar and learned theory, and then I learned through the guitar, I learned to play the piano. I wouldn't accompany myself on stage with the piano. I know enough to produce a record. I could accompany myself live with a guitar. I'm a guitar player at heart. But just learning music in general. So the guitar was really a gateway to that, and kind of like a gateway to freedom as an artist, to really have full control over it all, and the sound. And I have to give credit to amazing producers like yourself that I've worked with in the past 10 years, because I was able to learn through some really awesomely talented musicians, Insane P, Damon, Dizzy Fingers Bennett, yourself, Peter. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blacking out. My good friend Peter. Oh man, he produced a lot of songs for the remix album. So I've learned through a lot of really talented musicians.
We appreciate it. Like I said, it's people like you that inspire me. I mean, I remember when I first saw you, and this was like, actually 10, 11 years ago, and on MySpace. Lord, we've come a mighty long way.
MySpace days. The MySpace.
Okay. And so I remember, because I actually met you through another talent.
Excuse me, I apologize. Peter Tanaka is his name. I apologize. I wasn't going to rest on my spirit. Go ahead. I apologize.
No problem. You wanted to make sure you get it correct.
Exactly. I'm seeing
yeah, but I remember I actually saw you by way of one of our other first talents, actually the guy who became our first gentleman of Meak Productions, the actual agency, Daddy
yes.
now. I actually saw you on his page, and then that's when I saw you, and then I heard your music. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got to work with him and stuff. And like I said, we were still growing and no connections in the industry whatsoever, but we knew we had to get the vision off the ground.
That's right.
And it was something
and you
about,
did.
I appreciate that, man. And people like you encouraging us. But it was something about when I heard Work It Out, and then gave my critique on that, and then you came back. Yeah, baby, when you came back with Good Love.
I knew you were going to say.
I said, because first of all, it was the title that got me. You said Good Love, Grilled Ham and Cheese. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? But when I heard it, and I was like, okay, no, you didn't. I was like, wait a minute here. So yeah, I mean, you just totally blew me away with that partnership, and then the evolution overall when you got with Insane P for your Heat album. And speaking of that, we're going to take you back to memory lane, to the first video from that album. My favorite song, Hot Knife. Blue butter. Yes, baby.
Space it out.
Yeah. I had to space that thing out, man. Hot Knife. Milo. Blue butter. To those people that's tuned us in on YouTube Live right now, once again, don't forget to subscribe. Join us for our next couple of episodes that we got for our media shows. And if you're listening to us on our radio shows, please stay tuned. We got a quick commercial break, but we're going to be playing this particular track, Hot Knife Through Butter, a classic by our first gentleman of music, Tony Enos. So please stay tuned, y'all. We do have more in store. Let's kick it. Yes.
saw him walk through the door, and I said to God, please, if you're listening tonight, let him sit down next to me. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, one thing led to another. Before the night was done, I was making breakfast and he had me sprung. How you like your eggs? They want to substitute. Asking you shall receive it's all for you. Once you've had the rest, you don't want another. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. Once you can take it to the back, you don't want no other. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. Like a hot knife through butter. Me out so good, so unlike the rest. From 1 a.m. to 6, I couldn't catch my breath. Oh yeah. I was standing no line for nobody, but I'll admit that this is one dude I'd let put a ring on that. How you like your rings? They want us to. Asking you shall receive it's all for you. Once you've had the rest, don't want another. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. Once you can take it to the top, you don't want no other. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. Like a hot knife through butter. La la la, How you like your eggs? They want us to. Asking you shall receive it's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. Once you have the rest, you don't want another. Through me like a hot knife through butter. Once you can take it to the top, you don't want no other. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. You like your eggs, they want us to. Asking you shall receive it's all for you. Once you've had the rest, you don't want another. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. Once you can take it to the top, you don't want no other. That boy goes through me like a hot knife through butter. La 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 la, la 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 la. Like a hot knife through butter. La 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 la, la 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 la. Like a hot knife through butter.
This is the ball, man. Just that alone just bring back memories. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. Tell us a little bit about that album, Heat, and your, you joining with Insane P. How did that relationship come about?
I was looking for somebody to produce a Christmas single, and a mutual friend of ours, a mutual artist, referred me to Insane P, and I loved working with him so much and what he did on the Christmas single that I was like, let's do this next album. I wanted it to be like a Disco Diva album, and he was dead set against it. He's like, that's too old for you. you know, you get, so we actually, I don't even remember, there was like maybe 3 sessions together, just kind of kicking around ideas before we had got anything off the ground. And he started kind of like just kind of playing with a beat, you know, on the keyboard, you know, and I was like, what's that? And so he looped it for me, and I was like, I have a song, like this is the beat, you know. And I started singing "Hot Knife Through Butter" for him, and he went off, and he was like, "This is," you know. And it kind of things just, it was that one thing, and so "Hot Knife Through Butter" was like the floodgate for that record, and it was like a breakthrough record for me. It was a new sound, it was a current sound, and that was really his goal, was to give me like a current record at the time. And after people, I would walk, you know, down the street, and people would just go "Hot Knife Through Butter," like that was and it was my #1 song for a really long time.
Because
So
we blasted it on this radio show, the Various Artist Talent Showcase, baby. We blasted that song. I was like, check it out, y'all.
I'm just grateful that people have enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it the way they do and as much as they do. And it's always fun to do it live. I love doing it live. You know, it's fun. And we have a really cool live intro to it that like just sets things off. So it's fun. I like it.
Because I know I never got a chance to do it, but you know, I told you I wanted to do a remix of that.
Right.
And I also wanted to do a remix of Man Eater, which I want to talk to you about,
right.
because you only did videos from the Heat album. You only did Hot Knife, as far as music videos concerned.
Yeah.
You only did Hot Knife Through Butter. You only did Busted.
Yeah.
You did Burn.
Yeah.
And you did Heal Your World.
Yeah.
Those are the only videos that you did from that album. But you didn't do Man Eater. And I was really looking at, for that, because the way that y'all did that, I was like, oh, no, y'all didn't. And I was looking forward to at least a video with that and stuff. So is there a particular reason why you never did a video for Man Eater?
Phil, Man Eater was Phil's baby, and he was so pissed that I didn't do a video too. And I wanted to, and I had a million ideas, you know. I wanted it to, oh God, I just had so many ideas. And then unfortunately, you know, it comes time to move on, you know, and you have to go to the next thing. So really it was just a question of time. That was what really affected everything. And I ran out of time with that record. This record, I really plan on spanning 2 years with, you know. I think it's hard. It's about time. But this record, I've been careful to take my time with.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the process and not rush into everything. It's like I was telling you about not Come and Get It. The song you played at the top of the show.
You're talking about Give It to You.
Give It to You, thank you. And I
from the Did It Right album, your debut album.
And it sucks because, you know, like I set a deadline, and so then I recorded it under the gun. With this record, we didn't set a deadline till toward the very, very end, because I knew this was going to be important in a cathartic way for me, and I wanted to be able to go through it and enjoy it. And we did. Me, my sister, who was the vocal producer on this, assistant vocal producer, we had a great time, and I have good memories of, and that's important, you know, to have those things. So now I'm taking my time with things. So case in point, that's why you should, because I just kind of rushed, and I didn't get around. I just didn't get around to it. So it's my fault.
You know what? Speaking of your sister, want to give her a lovely shout out.
Yes.
She started working with you on your album projects, because she wasn't on the first debut album, I know, right? No. She started working with you more starting from the Heat album. And from the Heat album, that's when you started hearing more of her voice on the record and stuff, because she was actually the background on Hot Knife Through Butter, correct?
On all of those.
On all of those, yeah.
Heat album, yeah.
Yeah, because I can actually hear that. I said, wait a minute, is that piano?
it's my sister is, you know, she's made a name for herself as a visual artist, and she's a really talented visual artist. But, you know, music is the family business. Our grandfather, my mom's dad, was signed with Columbia Records in the 60s as a doo-wop singer and songwriter.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And then they had 6 kids. So, you know, that detracted from him being able to really kind of pour into that. But music is a family business, and my sister is an incredibly talented musician. She played, like I play the guitar, she plays the piano. She's a fantastic piano player, self-taught, all by ear. Vienna has perfect pitch.
Wow.
She is, and which is why she was the assistant vocal producer on this record. First of all, that's a job to sit and comb through a record, a 13-track record, note by note, with a piano to make sure that everything is on pitch and everything. Like, that's a job. Those were long hours we put in, and it's the hardest we've ever worked on a record. And so she yesterday just started working on her own album. So
Awesome.
finally,
yeah.
I've been like, come on, just do anything. I'll do whatever you want. So she's working with several producers. So I'm just one of several producers that is working with her on this record. So I'm super excited to see her evolve and to, you know, she's an amazing songwriter, and she's always been an amazing vocalist. So yeah,
you know what? That part of your family you never really told me about. I think you told me a little bit about your sister, so I kind of knew.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that your musical heritage goes all the way back to your dad. I didn't know that. I didn't know
grandfather,
your grandfather.
Yeah,
which is, they say your mom's father. So that's on the mom's side of your family.
Yeah, yeah. He's really, rest his soul. He's not with us anymore. It's a year. I think it's a year he's passed.
Oh wow, condolences.
Well, thank you. But yeah, he had a beautiful voice and great singer and songwriter. And like I said, he released a number of records with Columbia, and it's just and my mom sings. My mom has a pretty voice, you know, and everybody sings. You know, music was a big thing, and you know, there was always, growing up, there was always music, there was always records on, there was always music on the TV, you know. So it's the family business.
Wow, the family business. Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually I know I want to play another video because like I said, this is the whole different thing about being on Zoom right now. I said I know I couldn't do much with Ace because Ace didn't have that many videos and stuff like that. She just started adding music videos to her repertoire, but I knew that you had a whole collection.
Right.
So I want to go ahead and we're gonna come back to the present a little bit. We're gonna play the bonus track, if I'm not mistaken. What you say? I fucked your boyfriend? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
So do you want the story before or after the video?
Let's get the story before this time.
So for me, I don't know if you've heard that song, That's My Type.
Have I heard that song?
That's my type. That's my type. 8 inch or
sounds
bigger. That's my type. So
okay.
It was on the radio, and we were in a taxi in DC, and it was on the radio, and she's just talking about penis sizes, and I was like, this is what's on the radio now. Not only is this what's on the radio, I mean, not that it wasn't when I was growing up, right? But it's just on some different level. When I was growing up, it was a low dose of ratchet, and now it's ratchet extra strength. You know what I mean? It's to the
100th power now?
Couple hundred extra milligrams of ratchet. And I was like, this is the artists that get prioritized now. I feel like there's so much going on in the world, but this is what gets prioritized. So I was like, okay, then this is my contribution, because I knew it would be an issue when a gay man did it. And it was. And so, but I said, well, but this is what you prioritize. This is the music and the artist that you prioritize. So this is my contribution to the consumer movement. I'm just giving you what you want as a consumer.
Gotcha.
So that's really what this record is, and with the song and the video. This is my ratchet moment. Had me a ratchet moment.
Let's go ahead and check this video out, because this will be my first time seeing the video. Of course, I've heard the song.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I've heard the song. So this will be my first time seeing the video. So you know I'm in for a treat, as well as some of you all who haven't seen it yet. So stay tuned. I fucked your boyfriend. A bonus track, because this is not on his newest album. This is just a bonus track by Tony Enos. So you all stay tuned. Let me get the share screen going so we can go ahead and get it rolling.
looking at some heavy precipitation through the Center City, Philadelphia area. It's a rainy Valentine's Day night, a great night to just stay in with someone you love, get under the covers, watch a movie, and just make a night in, you guys. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast for the week to come. Friday morning tomorrow, heavy rain during the morning rush hour traffic. It's going to be sticky. Drive safe. Don't forget your umbrellas, and everybody just get to work safely, all right? After that, in the evening, things clear up. The next day, let's take a look at Saturday. Sunshine, unseasonably warm weather, 65 degrees, but it doesn't last long. We have a cold front moving in next week. We are looking at perhaps 1 to 3 inches of snow. This is February. It's not uncommon for us to get snow.
I fucked your boyfriend. There ain't no more to say. I know he's your man, but I fucked him anyway. Because when he walked in, out here looking so damn fine. Ooh, he's fine. I couldn't find one good reason he shouldn't be mine. I fucked your boyfriend. There ain't no more to say. I know he's your man, but I fucked him anyway. I fucked your boyfriend, and no, I ain't so afraid. If he was happy, he wouldn't be with me. But while you're so consumed, preoccupied with yourself, he's in bullshit. He's out here finding someone else. I fucked your boyfriend. There ain't no more to say. I know who's your man, but I fucked him anyway. I fucked your boyfriend, and no, I ain't so afraid. If he was happy, he wouldn't be with me. Is it my fault that it's just my type and there's no resistance? Is it my fault that I taste like honey and money in Christmas Day? In these streets, day in, day out, and they loving the way I do. So when I walk by, I better check your man, 'cause if he's looking at my ass, I got him. Bitch, what? You grapher. No, but for real. I fucked your boyfriend. You fucked your boyfriend. There ain't no more to say. 'Cause you ain't got no good to say. I know he's your man. He knows he's your man, but I fucked him anyway. You fucked him any fucking way. I fucked your boyfriend. You fucked your boyfriend, and no, I ain't so afraid. If he was happy, he wouldn't be with me. I fucked your boyfriend. There ain't no more to say. I know he's your man, but I fucked him anyway. I fucked your boyfriend, and no, I ain't so afraid. If he was happy, he wouldn't be with me. I fucked your boyfriend.
Oh, you did that. Boy, you did that. I got no, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute.
I didn't know
now.
you hadn't seen it before.
I never saw this and stuff, and I'm like, okay. He went all the way there, cookies and all. And the model and the bro was fine too. My God.
That's Marquise was one of my dancers back in the day.
Wow.
And Marquise grew up, child. And but it's good to do videos like that with people who are friends and people you like and laugh. And Marquise is so silly because it's the experience of making the video is never anything like it's edited to look. And we put like outtakes and stuff online, just like we had a good time, and there's actually a scene where we rolled away from the camera, but I was so effing heavy, like for that when I was like, this don't look right, so I played it in reverse so we would roll toward the camera because the gravity was so heavy it didn't look right rolling up. So just stuff like that, and then we were laughing. I was like, why did that look different in my head? But it's cool to have people that you're comfortable with.
Wow.
And Marquise is dope. Marquise is a good friend. I love him.
That was deep, man. And so you literally thought about, he said, it's like, you like, fuck this. I'm going to show my ass and everything.
Yeah, I was like, this is my moment. This is my contribution to the consumer movement, because this is what gets, and because I knew we were going to do positive, which is nothing like any of that. And I wanted it to be contrasting. And I wanted to say, this is actually what's important to me, and what I think where our focus should be again, not that a moment of ratchetness doesn't have its place or booty or whatever, but I think there's too much at stake now. There's too much at stake in this current socio-political climate for us not to be on one accord and working toward a common goal, at least the majority of the time. It's okay to have a moment for yourself and step away and be like, I have to recharge today, because if you're no good to yourself, you're no good to anybody else.
Absolutely.
But we definitely, this moment is demanding a certain amount of awareness from us. So that's why I didn't want to put that on this record, because I really wanted the record to be an aware record.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, because we're going to, and I'm glad you talked about this, because this is going to lead us into our next video, classic video that we're going to play from your greatest hits collection.
It's like, this is your life.
Thank you. That's how I wanted to present it. I said, I got
version of This Is Your Life.
Yes. That's how I wanted to present this, because I said, I got something special for his ass.
You taking care of me as always. You always do.
What has your experience been? Because I know I had this talk with our previous guest, Sister Ace Rain. Give her a shout out again. And we talked about not only I kind of did something briefly about how small businesses have been affected by COVID-19, but also those in the entertainment and the creative industry. And I know she gave her input about what it has done to artists who are full-time and even those who are part-time. So since COVID-19, how has it affected you as far as your music career, your performance career? Tell us a little bit about your experience with that and how you feel so far now.
Well, I mean, we started planning for Positive a year ago, and the plan on paper, we had a production meeting and we sat and we wanted to tour this place, and I was supposed to be in Canada and I was supposed to be here and there, and that all came to a screeching halt, in March. And we, thank God now, that's what I have to say. I am blessed. So I don't want to come off and complain too much about COVID or pull a poor me. I am so blessed to still be able to have adapted. And, we're doing it right now. We're virtual, and thank God everything kicked over pretty quickly for me into a virtual landscape with this record. We were supposed to do a full college and university tour. Again, I was supposed to be up in Canada. Overseas stuff is still on the fence because United States citizens are barred from everywhere at this point. But it really changed everything. Even the way that I was able to promote the record, it tied my hands a little bit. But when I was saying about me being blessed, thankfully I have people who support and believe in what I do, and I have an amazing community. And I do have to kick shout outs to the Two-Spirit community, to the Two-Spirit societies, the Two Spirits and Native American, First Nations, and indigenous people in the HIV world. Trevor Stratton of the International Indigenous Working Group on AIDS, Rick Haverkate, who works for Indian Health Services. I'm trying to rattle them all. There's so many people like that I owe a debt of gratitude to, who have been there to say, this is what you want to do, let's do it. So I've been tremendous. I guess it's made me realize how blessed I am. Super, super, super blessed, and I still get to do what I love and keep the lights on. So I mean, I can't complain, you know. But that's not to say it hasn't been rough, and that's not to negate the reality of the situation or how it's felt. You know, people may not. There's that saying: people may not remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll always remember how this felt. You know, so that's not to negate how this has felt, how traumatic it's been. You know, and it hasn't been the easiest couple months.
I know, because I know, especially to those people whose immune systems are already compromised.
Yeah.
The COVID scare is of course, you know, most important to you all.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to actually get your input about it and stuff, because like I said, we don't hear too many stories from the LGBT community on certain platforms concerning how they've been affected. Especially those who are HIV positive, how they've been affected by COVID-19 and stuff. So it's great that you are still doing well, that you are still healthy. I know financially, were you able to take advantage of any of the pandemic assistance that was available?
Because I lost thousands out the gate. There was a bunch of shows canceled at the top of March and April. And you know, having HIV, I've only been positive since 2006, again, 14 years. There's a lot of first gen survivors, you know, a lot of folks from 83, 84. And it kind of gets me emotional talking about it, because it's been very traumatic for them, and a lot of them that I know personally, it was so triggering. And here's another pandemic to survive. And it kind of sends you ricocheting back into that first, you know, so it has been very difficult for me personally. And again, I can only speak for myself and my experience. You know, I can't live in fear, and I don't like sensationalism, and I don't like fear mongering. So I've always been the kind of person, I like to make informed decisions, and then I just kind of make my decision and dig my heels in, and for better or worse, and let the chips fall where they may. I ain't saying I'm always right, but that's just kind of the nature of me. I can't live in fear. I can't live that way.
Especially when you realize you've already was kind of forced to live in fear growing up.
Yeah.
You know, being bullied and teased, and you know, you get to the point to where it's like, wait a minute, fuck this shit. I'm sick, you know, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Say it. Say it, baby. Yeah.
You know, and it's true. Like, and a lot of people don't realize, you know, I mean, once you reach that point, you know, hey, you better step the hell out of Dodge. So, you know, and you just, you know, just hope that you know, people have common sense enough to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't think y'all not worth all that, so let me get myself together. But yeah, I can relate to that, man. And kudos to you for even staying strong and not allowing fear to overtake you, and especially throughout this pandemic, because fear has overtaken a lot of people, and it has caused them to not make sound decisions.
My doctor, and this is a medical health professional, she said to me, it has been painful to watch the media report on this. And not because we don't need facts, and not because we shouldn't make informed choices, but the sensationalism and the fear over informed choices. Like, yeah, we should all be making really smart choices. Wear your goddamn mask and wash your fucking hands, and, like, you know, get your shit together, get your life together. You know, you shouldn't be 30, 40 years old, so I gotta tell you to wash your hands now.
Okay.
But, yeah, but the fear and the sensationalism and the hype, it's so funny, because prior to this, if you remember, the hot button topic was Kobe. Kobe Bryant had just passed away.
Yeah.
And it was on every channel, and they were selling tickets to the service. And I was like, if that is so important, that should have been a free service. Again, that's just my 2 cents. Who am I? You know, Absolutely. What do I know? Take it with a grain of salt. But the sensationalism, I detest it. I don't like it, and it has no place in sound decision making and healthy decision making. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
You know what? This is a great way to segue into your third album, No Place Like Home, and one of the really breakthrough singles that really introduced the new you. And I think it's really important for us to play that right now. I Cry is a beautiful, beautiful single, and I want us to talk about that. For those people who haven't seen this video, I want us to talk about the concept of the video, because I know this kind of introduces people to your indigenous self. And I want you to kind of talk about that process as well as the process of this song and the album and what have you and stuff. So y'all stay tuned. We have more with the best of Tony Enos as he celebrates 10 years of music recording. Let's go ahead and get this together because this is going to be so beautiful.
Bowed his head in prayer as the wheels touched the ground. 18 hours in the air, no one made a sound. Opened his eyes, saw the note on the floor from another soldier who flew this flight before. Said I cried for the soldier who didn't make it home, for the wife left behind, for the child never known. I cried for the mother who lost a daughter or a son, for the father who knew this day could come. I cried. Slowly stops, the door opens wide. They carry off the wooden box inside a soldier life. You can see the pain from the tear in his eyes. For every soldier he lays to rest, those words go through his mind. Said I cried for the soldier who didn't make it home, for the wife left behind, for the child never known. I cried for the mother who lost a daughter or a son, for the father who knew this day could come. I cried. Chaplain, the note he had found. He read, said I cried for the soldier who didn't make it home, for the wife left behind, for the child never known. I cried for the mother who lost a daughter, for the father who knew this day could come. I cried. I cried.
Wow, brother. When I first of all, when I heard the song, that's when I was introduced to this new evolved Tony Enos. And I was like, damn, this boy done growed up. I said, he's grown up. And then when I saw the video, I was just totally mesmerized by the production. Because if once again, looking at the previous videos, this was totally, really commercial ready. I'm talking about mainstream commercial ready. And I was looking to hear like Tony Enos nominated best, pop country. You know what I'm saying?
That's the story unto itself.
You know what I'm saying? I was really looking for that. I think I told you that this is Grammy material. This is Grammy ready.
For that.
And so tell us a little bit about, first of all, the inspiration for the song and everybody that was involved, because even the production of this song reminded me of your first debut album, because the production quality was so awesome. So, and commercially ready. So yeah, tell us a little bit about, this particular piece, this.
So the songwriter, his name is Tommy Devine. He's from Nashville. When I was touring with the Heat album, I did 2 nights at a music festival in Nashville on Music Row, which was amazing. There was an Elvis statue on the way. I took a picture with the Elvis statue every night like a nerd. But I met Tommy Devine there, and we got to talking. And he actually gave us a ride back to the hotel the second night, the second show. And we just got to talking about, I said, I'd like to do some more country and pop country and new country, and we should work together. And he said, I have a song that I think might work for you. I'll send it to you. So weeks went by. I got back to Philly, and he sent me an email. He sent the song. He said, here's the song and the instrumental. Here's the lyrics. Give it a listen. And I told my mom, and I was really excited to, about this particular songwriter. And we sat, I'll never forget it, in the kitchen and listened to the song and sobbed together, just cried. So Tommy Devine is also a veteran. And so I called him, and he told me the story behind the song. And he said to me, Tony, it's going to wear me out. He said, what a lot of people don't realize is none of us came home, because nobody ever came home the same. So the song just has such deep meaning for him as the songwriter. He produced the entire track. I produced my vocals on the record, but he, produced the arrangement. And it's the first other songwriters music other than my own that I had ever recorded at the time. And the video was shot by Dennis Kahlo. He's an amazing and really talented film producer. Filmmaker and cinematographer in Brooklyn. So he did the music video. And it's for me, as an Indigenous person, as a Native American, we Native Americans have the highest rate of enrollment in the armed forces, and for a million different reasons. But it's throughout all the wars, no matter who they've been with. And I'm not a fan of war. I'm not a big establishment person. People know I'm very anti, or I just don't like the establishment. I don't like the idea of supporting the ideology that one life is more important than the other. I don't. That's not my personal belief. But I will always honor our warriors, and that song is a chance and an opportunity to honor our warriors, regardless of the way I feel personally about the world and how it's set up. I know how the establishment and how the world is set up, and I know who's taken the first bullet in the World Trade Center, which is now a mall. If God forbid there's an attack, I know who's jumping in front of baby coaches and elders and whatever. You see them stationed. I lived in New York for 4 years, and they're all stationed, armed forces in the, right there in the World Trade Center Mall and Memorial right now. So I will never not honor our service people. I will always honor our service people. And because we have a very long tradition as Indigenous people of honoring our warriors. And so this is just what it looks like now, but it's a very old tradition of honoring our warriors. And again, we have the highest level of enrollment because it's, no matter who the war has been with, it's always been about the land. It's always been about protecting this land.
Absolutely.
So that's why it was an important song. And again, to give, I hope, my hope and my prayer is to give some love, some dignity to those whose experience that is. Out of all the songs on that third record, I sang this song so carefully because I didn't want to dishonor anybody. I wanted to honor the experience of those who did lose somebody.
Absolutely.
And even when I sing it, when I do that song live, I am so careful because there's always veterans in the room, and a lot of times they'll come up after me, which is really a blessing, and talk to me, about their experience in the song. But that song is really important for those reasons, because I really hope to uplift and honor those whose experience that is. And both my grandparents were servicemen.
Yeah.
Both sides.
My on my father's side, because even though I was raised an only child, because my mom never married, but my father, once I had a chance to meet my half brothers and sisters on my dad's side, that's when I found out that my dad was a veteran. He actually served in the armed forces, and because they actually show a picture of him serving, in his uniform. And so, yeah, that right there is really, really, it was really. It's like I always had respect for you, always will. But it's like for that particular video to me was the catalyst of people seeing the evolved Tony. Because we even in our 10th anniversary of Meak Pro Music, that campaign, we actually did a marketing wallpaper and postcard with your new look and stuff. Because it's like, okay, remember Tony from back then? Because we also did a re-release of the old campaigns because we wanted to honor the 10-year anniversary. But if you see you back then and see you now, it's like, wow. It was just a totally inspiring thing to see, to see that transformation, especially for those people who's been following your career or assisting and supporting your career for as long as we have. I mean, that was just so beautiful. So like I said, I had to play that video on this particular episode of our show. I had to play that.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you like it. And thank you for saying that. It's always an honor to wear, our regalia, for us as Indigenous people. They're not costumes. I didn't get my head roach and my hawk feathers at Party City. So it means a lot to us to wear our regalia and honor the ancestors, honor those grandmothers and grandfathers and relatives. And so again, that was a chance to do that and to honor our warriors. At least that's the intention of my heart.
When did you decide, and this is going to be our kind of like our last bit of our conversation. When did you tap into your indigenous ancestry? What inspired that?
I've always done whatever they told me not to growing up. And growing up, that was always a problem. It was always a fight. My father and I, I like to think we're friends now. But we never had, growing up for me with him, it was very tumultuous. That was one of the reasons, as was our kind of United Colors of Benetton, United Nations ancestry, it was always a problem. And it wasn't until I realized as I got older that was because of some deep-seated intergenerational trauma and family trauma on in his early childhood and upbringing. But I say all that to say I didn't really come into community until about 5-6 years ago. And the American Indian Community House in New York had a lot to do with that. And getting enrolled, which that's a whole nother can of worms. And I have feelings about enrollment and government involvement and tribal sovereignty. But I guess it's been about 5 or 6 years. I had, it's funny how things will come to you. And I got involved with several Two-Spirit societies and things like that, and learning about, what does it mean to be a Two-Spirit Cherokee man whose people are from North Carolina, who aren't Oklahoma, Cherokee of Oklahoma. What does that even mean? There's 3 different, there's state enrolled Cherokee, there's Indians living in New York City.
Even down here in Georgia.
Yeah, it's part of the traditional territory. And so I have to give a huge shout out to the American Indian Community House in New York City. Number one, they're 51 years old, the oldest Native Indigenous organization in New York City. They've served, I think, the census from like about 2 years ago was having served, I think it was over 80 tribes. So a very intertribal Native and Indigenous community in New York City. And it was really, it became a home for myself and a lot of all of the Native folks in New York City. That it's been a evolution, as you say, over the past, I guess really 5-6 years or so.
What do you want people to go away with as we at the close of our wonderful, wonderful trip down memory lane with you? And thank you so much for actually joining us. Like I said, it's been a long time since you've been on our show this way. People have always heard you on our show through our music shows all the time throughout the years, but it's been a minute since we had a chance to actually have a conversation like this and stuff. So to take away from this newest release, this newest project that you have out now, what do you want people to know?
People always ask me with this record, there's been a lot of kind of interfacing with my younger self, and I carry him around. I carry that 8-year-old around that just wanted to be loved, and that did experience a lot of trauma and bullying and all that kind of stuff. And not that it was all bad, but I think my main thing, love is the main thing, and love yourself, and you got to love yourself first, and you got to put a value on your love before anybody else will. And I think when I got diagnosed positive, I tried to make it very easy for people to walk out of my life. And I let them decide how valuable it was to them. But then I realized here I am waiting to be loved, and they're mirroring my sort of featherweight attitude toward it. So love, and you got to love yourself first, and you got to put a price and a value on your, I don't mean a monetary price, but a value on your love first before anybody else will. And then you can love other people. Absolutely. So love forwards and backwards. That I think is what this record really encompasses. I hope it's the intention to my heart.
Well, we're going to be blasting it on our 10th anniversary season of the Various Artists Talent Showcase. And so stay tuned for more hits and more tracks from the Positive
Thank you for
album.
holding me down. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for your kindness of generosity and heart and spirit. It's easy to be generous with monetary things, with money, but to give pieces of your heart and your kindness and time and energy of your spirit to people. And you always given that to me for 10 years. People don't get that from each other for 10 minutes nowadays. So
absolutely,
thank you for your generosity and your kindness to me always for the past 10 years.
And thank you for even trusting me, going all the way back to your first debut album, because you didn't have to do that. And so thank you so much, because I think we both was going through a tumultuous time during that time. And so thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, because it was actually through your album that inspired me to launch the official record label of Meak Pro Music. So it was through the success of your debut album that we was able to take that vision and really go to the next level. Because after you, then we began to work with, Darren Sky. We began to work with Septimius the Great, who was formerly known as Marlo Rainbow. And you had a chance to at least meet Marlo, meet No Angel.
And Darren's,
you had a chance to meet Darren too separately, but I know you had a chance. I know when we first met each other in person, that was in 2013 at the Mix Fest. And so that was the first time that all of us was actually together and stuff. And I know Marlon and we had met more than once and stuff, but it was just so awesome. I remember that like it was yesterday, because it's like when I saw you, I picked you up and twirled you around.
And you still got that hernia, huh? That slip disc has never been the same.
You still and you still got that personality. That's one thing I love about you. And and then I had a chance to see you again when we booked you for Rainbow Days at 6 anniversary. And we was trying to bring you all back and stuff, but of course that got postponed. Things started happening. That was last year.
Life happened.
Things happen and stuff. So and because that's not our particular production. So we was media partners and stuff on that end with that. So but we are going to bring you back to the ATO. So keep that in the spirit realm.
Well, I can't wait.
Because like I was telling Ace and like I was sharing with you, we had a lot of plans for this year. Because there was a lot of opportunities, a lot of booking opportunities that we was beginning to share or going to share with you all. But when COVID-19 happened, as you know, what happened to a lot of prides didn't even know if they was going to be virtual or what.
Right.
Everybody didn't know anything, so everything was really kind of up in the air, and some people just decided to postpone to next year, and other people were, was blessed to actually have a virtual outlet. So I'm glad you was able to be a part of something virtual. And so,
thank you.
But we're going to close because I can talk to you forever.
Same. We've been friends for a long time. And it's been a long time since we've gotten to talk.
Yeah. So I want you to kind of stay online a little bit, because I know we got to close out of YouTube. But to those people who are tuned into me right now, thank you all so much once again for supporting our YouTube channel, and this is our second episode, 10th anniversary episode of our 10th anniversary season of the Various Artists Talent Showcase. And stay tuned for more, because follow us on our MixCloud and SoundCloud account for more of our radio shows that we have up in store for our 10th anniversary season of this particular show, our LGBT music show. And there's so much more in store, you all. We're also planning a virtual concert. We was trying to see if we could do it during the early part of the summer, but we had to constantly research to find out which live streaming outlet would be best for our brand. So we're going to be doing a virtual concert to celebrate the 10 years of this radio show. And we're also going to be doing a 12th anniversary virtual concert for Meak Pro Music. So stay tuned for that. And Tony, I already know you're going to be in both of them, so stay tuned.
So I'll be there.
Okay, but we're going to close out. You know, I got to close out with another classic. And I think this one is a remix that you haven't heard. You might have heard it and might have forgotten about it, but this is the Midnight Soul remix.
I forget about
it. This is the Midnight Soul remix of Tony Enos's first single. No, actually his second single, but his first like commercial promoted single from his debut album, Did It Right. Good Love, Grilled Ham and Cheese. This is the Midnight Soul anniversary remix that I did, featuring yours truly on background.
Is this the fast one?
Not the fast one.
Okay.
This is the slow
I know which one it is now. Okay.
The slow one where
it's the sexy one.
The sexy one that with the longer extended version on the end with me singing in the background. So I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you had a chance to hear it. But I wanted to do that. Okay.
I gets it in the gym.
What you say? You gets it in the gym?
Yeah, to your production. I love your production.
I want to actually close out with that. And for those people who haven't heard it, and you're going to see the actual anniversary post on that, because I want to actually kind of give you the shout out that you deserve as well. So to those people who are tuned into us right now, once again, check us out, meakproductions.com. You know how to reach us. And don't forget to visit and download all of his music at tonyenosmusic.com. His music is available on all music download sites, Spotify, Bandcamp, everybody, Amazon, Apple. I mean, there's so many.
In all countries, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah, all countries now. So he's always been international to me. So this is the anniversary Midnight Soul remix of Good Love. And until next time, you all be safe, continue to be safe, and have a wonderful, prosperous weekend. And I love you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful to the creator of the Omniverse for your existence. And so it is. See y'all soon. Let's see if we can share this. Hopefully there's no more technical difficulties. Bye, y'all. Yes.
Baby. I can't go late. Told you how I'm feeling, feels so good. When I have it near, always want you here for so long. Try to hide the way I love it blindly, but it don't matter. No, was the truth in my eyes that I really need you so I cannot seem to think of anyone else. I'd rather have to myself. And something tells me that you feel the same way. So let me tell you, baby, I can do it, you can do it. Won't you put your back into it? Put you through it. You some of my good love. Happy, sad, good, bad. You always feel much better when you coming over. Get some of my good love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get some of my good love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get some of my good love, baby. When I close my eyes, I fantasize about you. Inside of my love, say you dream of the same thing. I know you wanna taste the trick. written all over your face, baby. When you see what I got, body's gonna get so high. Decided to put my arm on the line. Thought you should know, so let me help you understand. I bet I want you, baby. Here and go. I can do it, you can do it. Won't you put your back into it? Put you through it. If you smell my good love, happy said I could have been. Your voice so much better when you come on over. Get to know my good love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get to know my good love. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get to know my good love. I cannot seem to think of anyone else. I'd rather have to myself. If something tells me that you feel the same way, so let me tell you, baby, I can do it, you can do it. Won't you put your back into it? Put you through it. If you smell my good love, happy said I could have been. Your voice so much better when you come on over. Get to know my good love. That's the fix. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see what my good love. I can't fight this feel. Let's see what my good love. That's right, yeah. I've been really trying. Let's see what my good love. That's right, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Try to see what my good love. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see what my good love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see what my good love. Da, da, da. Good love, man. Give me your good love, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good love, man. Give me your good love, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Listen to my good love.